I think we can all be not only part of the solution to the problem when we look into the world, but we actually are the solution. It's not in our doing, although that may certainly be part of the expression. Whatever's going on in the world has been created at a very low level of consciousness. And I don't think I need to remind you of that. It's very, very obvious. There is more conflict and battle and finger pointing and war. And it's all very, very low consciousness. It's a very low frequency. Now, many people think that certain people who might come into office or get into leader roles, that will be the solution. But it cannot be. It cannot be, because they are still at that same level of consciousness that created it. And I know we've all heard that saying that, you cannot resolve a problem at the same level of consciousness that it was created. That is what we see out there. I'm sorry to be so blunt about it, but the solution is not out there. My deep calling is to go in here and let the solution that I already am show up in whatever form that is. And it's going to look different for every one of us, although many of us, it may look very similar. So when I talk about being the solution and not being the problem anymore, it's really important that we take our hands off the problem. We can be the solution. That means the higher frequency, and through that, our hands may certainly reach out and make a change. But it's not the old, familiar, outdated sense of self that is separate from the solution. That's the one that was part of creating it, and it was part of maintaining it. Just by the way, many, many, many people are still engaging out there by fighting and taking sides and thinking they're right and others are wrong. It is not the solution. It's adding to the problem. So today I want again to offer you, I have a monthly online gathering where we meet. It's the first Tuesday of the month. So we will meet next week, which is August 6th. And the subject is feel your deepest longing. Find your spiritual calling. It's found in here. And I cannot stress it enough. It is so, so precious. And when you hang out in that, you don't want to leave it. You want to just be an open vessel for it. And it knows what to do. And when I say it, it's really who you are at the core, not that separate sense of self called Pernilla in my instance. She doesn't know anything. She doesn't know anything. When she's disconnected from this, when I connect to this, Pernilla still doesn't know anything, really. She's just a separate sense of self. She's not real. It's a fixation in the mind. But when the connection is here, then Pernilla, that fictional identity, she can just be an open vessel for that and get fully out of the way Now, I know that's a process. It's not something that happens overnight, and we may not even complete it in this lifetime. I don't know. But what we can do, and what I think we must do right now, is to simply learn to make ourselves available for that. And what is that? In my experience, it is the longing for a better world. I know many of us are battling out there because we want to make it better, but you're battling in an illusion. It's a dream. The dream is a very different state of consciousness than what we are at the core. We want to bring that real world that is invisible to our senses, but it is very available through our soul sense, which is the feeling of longing we feel in here, that we want a different world. The world that we long for is here, not out there. That's going, that's all dissolving. So the sooner we can take our hands off that, the sooner we stop feeding it, and the sooner we can bring that energy here and then make ourselves available. And that is how we become the solution. So if this speaks to you in any way, shape, or form, please click on that link in the description so you can read up a little bit about the gathering. And then if you want to sign up, just put in your information and then make a donation. I'm doing it by donation, and then you will receive the link for the Zoom. So, my friends, I hope you will join me, or at least consider it. Maybe not this month, but maybe the next month, or maybe I'll start opening up more opportunities like this, because to me it is the most important thing right now, that we simply settle in here. And you do that by feeling that longing for a better world. It seems so simple. And for me too, after all these years of, practicing and doing all these things, they have all paid off because I have been able to let go more and more. And it's an ongoing process, but enough to know that this is my home. This is the place where the energy can come through, so that heaven on earth, which is already here, can start manifesting to us, so it becomes available and visible to us as the old dimension, as the old paradigm, the simulation, the illusion, the overlay, call it what you will, the matrix, as that's dissolving, because we stop feeding it. We start feeding the longing, which is the divine coming through, and we just need to open up to it. I know I've said it many times, and I may say it many more times, because it is just the real essence, in my experience, of what needs to happen next. Okay, my friends, I do hope to see you on Tuesday. And please reach out if you have any questions.